All right, welcome high school DPS coaches. We have the district championship coming up at Harvard Gulch course, or Harvard Gulch Park. So I wanted to go over the race course with you really quickly, so that you had some time to prepare if you're able to. It is very, very similar to last year, and I should have changed this right here. I actually went out with a wheel yesterday and measured it, so it is exactly 5K. So down to the foot. So we're going to start in the same place. There's going to be a starting, those big start, it's not so much a banner as it is a large thing that's driven into the ground. You cannot miss it. There'll be a line that's straight up and down here, and then the race will start with this straightaway coming across. You'll go over the basketball court here, and then there's a small little driveway that brings drivers into the golf parking lot, and we'll have volunteers here stopping the traffic. And then we will go along a short path. It's not very long, and then you will turn onto the grass. Now this part right here, unfortunately this satellite picture was taken during the construction on site, so it is all grass. This Y looking thing is not there, it is just grass, it's just a field. So then you'll veer onto the grass, shoot through a grove of trees, and then you'll follow. I'll have some orange tape on the ground, so the runners will follow that. They'll cross a little driveway here that goes into a CSU botanic outpost type thing. And then there's a turn around a tree here. And then they'll head south. And this section here is downhill. And they'll head south. They'll keep the parking lot on their right. And then they'll cross this little path and they'll make a little turn right here, and they'll follow a path just for a little bit from about here to here, and then they'll exit onto the grass, and then they'll follow the grass down over a little asphalt bridge right here, and then they'll leave the path again and go onto grass, and they'll go around this you know those fitness courses where you're supposed to run from thing to thing, and you're doing like pull-ups and push-ups and fun stuff like that. So they'll run around that, and we'll have a volunteer here hopefully. And they'll turn around some trees, and then they'll go down a short little hill, make a jog to their left, and then they're going to cut through the cattails. And I'm sure you all remember the cattails from last year. Make sure your shoes are tied tightly on. And so they'll cut through the cattails, come back up the field, and then they'll come through a really sort of tight grove of trees right here, and then they'll head up the hill, cross the path. So this is all grass here. So cross the path, come up, and come around a little garden, then veer into the middle of the field and come across the field, up through, there's a little hill here, very small, across the main driveway. Again, we'll have volunteers stopping traffic, and they will pass the building on the north end of the building, on the grass. I would like to keep it on the grass. And then they will have the 1 mile markers right here, cross the path staying on the grass, and they will follow down and start heading south. They should use this path right here as a boundary. They should not get onto that path whatsoever. And so then they'll be running south. They'll be behind the start, and then they'll come to a very steep hill right here. It's short, but it is very steep. Local kids use it as a sledding hill. If you get enough speed, you end up in the creek, which is always kind of fun for a kid. And then you run along the gulch, and then your first water crossing will be right here. It is the same water crossing as last year. There's no change. And then they will follow the gulch around. They'll go around a little inlet to the gulch. There is a metal railing. They'll stay right next to the metal railing. and then they'll come out and stay on the grass. And I realize it gets a little narrow here, but a mile plus in should be fine. And then, so they go up a little hill, and then they will run on top of this grass hill, and then they will drop down into, actually go into the gulch, and then they're going to run in the gulch, maybe the length of about a classroom. It's not super far, but they will actually have to get in, run across the gulch, and then get out on the same side that they got in. So they'll exit the gulch, come back up the hill, and then they'll go around this dam that's right here, and then they'll come back down to the gulch, running along the gulch, and then they will cross over the gulch here. Now this is a fairly, it's a little more narrow than the other sections of gulch that they go through. It is conceivable that someone might think it would be wise to try to jump over it, but I would highly, highly recommend that they do not. Then they get out of the gulch, and in their first lap, they're going to go straight along the fence, turn, and veer back onto the course. And so for the second lap, it's much the same. Follow the same course down through here. And the second mile marker is right here. It'll be marked. Make the same turn, go around the same fitness thing, go through the same cattail area, come back up around, same turn, go through up here, so nothing's different. They'll go through the water crossing right here, follow the gulch, and then on the second lap things change here. They'll come up and they will run around. There'll be a little turnaround here, so they're not going to go all the way to this little gulch section. They're going to do a turnaround right here, come back, enter the course right here at that narrow section, follow the gulch. They're going to do the same water crossing as they did before. And then after they get out of the water crossing, they're going to be directed to the runner's left, and they're going to go up the hill a little bit to the west of where they went up on the first lap. They'll crest this hill right here, and then it's a short, very short stretch once they crest the hill to the finish. Now at the finish line, we're going to do something a little bit different than DPS has been doing. What we're going to do is they're going to go through the finishing chute that the timers have, and they're going to exit into the ball field, which we will have fenced off. And then along the fence of the of the baseball field, we're going to have a bag and the school's name on the fence, where your runners are going to be expected to take off their chips and put it in the correct bags along the fence. Once their chip is off, they'll be able to exit the finish area onto the field, and that's where you'll meet your runners when they're done. So it is 2 laps, almost identical 2 laps, and the course is exactly 5K. I'm also hoping that you'll be able to send the Sign Up Genius to the parents of your runners that is accompanied in this email. Last year, Slavens was able to have enough volunteers to staff both the middle school and the high school races, but it would be a lot better for us if we got some help volunteering when the middle school runners are running. So Slavens will be having volunteers all over the course for the high school race, but we really would like to have high schools step up and provide some volunteers for the middle school race so that our parents will be able to watch their kids throughout the race. So I do appreciate you passing that Sign Up Genius along. Feel free to send this video to parents as well, and volunteers will be getting a video similar to this describing what they're being asked to do, but essentially they are going to be at water crossings, the cattails, and turnarounds to make sure that kids don't cut the course, and also at driveways. So thank you very much for your help. I appreciate it, and I hope this race goes well for you and your team. Thank you.